I'm not really sure how to share this. I feel that it's important sometimes to share our experiences, our thoughts, so that others that may be going through the same thing have an opportunity to realize that they're not alone. Or maybe even use my ability to get out of it as a way for them to do the same. So I'm just going to be raw with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys and tell you that in the last 4 months, maybe, I have seriously been thinking about quitting Scentsy. It crosses my mind almost every day. Well, it had, and I'm going to tell you what happened. So, our economy and our society right now has changed so dramatically, I find, from the pandemic to our industry to, a bit of the recession or non-recession that's happening. It's a weird time in our society. I can get very negative about what's going on. I can really sit and wallow in the ucky feeling that I get from the potential demise of some of the things that are happening in our world. It makes me sad. It makes me sad. And I can only imagine somebody who has the prone for depression, such as myself, to sit in that too long and to reap the consequences of those thoughts, right? And I kind of think that's where I've been. That's where I went. We had a super hyper growth during the pandemic. I did, business-wise. I was also running another business. We had a substantial increase in sales and income during 2020, 2021, 2022 kind of plateaued a little bit. And then 2023 hit, and now all of a sudden things are starting to go back a little bit to normal. Businesses have reopened, and in comparison, for a while I was looking at it and saying, you know what, if I look at 2019's numbers, I'm actually not doing so bad. If I take that hyper growth out of there, which is very hard to compare to, I am really not doing that bad. And so, unfortunately, I get into these modes of looking at the high numbers, and it makes me sad that our business isn't doing better. But at the same token, it's really not doing bad. So that's what I have to focus on. And I forget to focus on the latter because it's easier to focus on negative than it is on positive for some reason, right? And so there's just been many times that I've had discussions or thoughts in my head or talks with my partners, and I just want to walk away. Like, I don't want to, everybody is dealing with that slump. Everybody is dealing with the dip, and not everybody handles it well. There's a lot of negativity that comes up. There's a lot of drama that comes up, and it's warranted. Listen, not everybody, like I said, not everybody knows how to deal with that sort of thing, and everybody's in a different space in their life. Maybe they were really dependent on Scentsy's numbers for their livelihood, and now they can't, or it looks different. So I don't know. I really had been contemplating quitting, and in the last few days it had come to a head. Like, I wasn't finding joy in something that I used to find joy in all the time. Look, I've been in Scentsy for 13 years, and there was a difference in how I felt about it. But I want to share something with you. And it's something that I'm sure I will talk about even more. as time progresses. But I have a choice to be feeling crappy about my job. Like, I literally have a choice to feel crappy about it. Or I have a choice to look at it and say, you know what? Right now, we might be in a dip. We might be a little bit more idle than we normally are. But I don't want to be that person that misses out when we come out of the dip. Because I have found so much joy and passion and friendships and love and experiences in Scentsy in the 13 years that I've been with it, that I really, really deep down, I'm not ready to give that up. And although I might not be feeling every single one of those pieces of it right now, I may not be feeling all of the joy that I used to feel. I don't want to miss out when it comes back, and I know that it will. That's the thing. I deep down know that it will. And as long as I hold on, as long as I keep going, as long as I keep moving forward, I will be there and ready when we come out of the dip. And I think that that's a super important choice that I'm making for myself, to say, okay, Edie, there's a lot of people leaving Scentsy right now because they don't like the feeling that they're getting in the dip. But I want to share this with you because it's how I'm a very visual person. It's how I visualize what we're feeling right now, because I'm not only a visual person, but I'm a very feelings person. It's how I learn, visually, hearing, and doing and feeling, right? If I'm standing on a beach and I go to the water's edge and I'm standing where the water actually comes up and goes back out, comes back up and goes back out. I have to go out maybe about two or 3 feet into the water so that I can feel what I'm about to feel. When the water flows in and it runs over my feet and maybe up my calves and my shins, that is a pure feeling of bliss, right? I love the ocean. When the water pulls back out and it ebbs back into the ocean, there's a moment sometimes where you feel like you're sinking. And you feel that you might lose your balance. And you're just patiently waiting for the water to come back and rush over your feet and up your shins and your calves again. To me, that's the feeling that we're going through in business right now. We're in the ebb. We're in that moment when we feel like we might be sinking and lowering down in the sand. Or the sand is being pulled out from our feet, and it's just a different feeling, right? It doesn't feel as good as the rush of the waves coming up over us. I need to stand here a little bit longer. I need to wait it out, because the flow of that ocean is going to come back, and I want to feel it. I want to be there when it happens. The ebbing might seem to be a little bit longer right now, but I'm telling you, it's worth the rush of the waves crashing over you. And that is what I hang on to. That is what I remind myself of. That is the choice that I make to stay. I also know that the work that I'm putting in for these 6 months will only show itself in the next 6 months. And so if I quit now, The work that I've been putting in right now is going to show up in the next 6 months, but it'll be for somebody else if I quit. I don't want that. I want to be there for the flow of the ocean crashing over me when Scentsy decides to come back, and it will. It will. That's the thing, is deep down, I know it will. There have been other ebbs. There have been other dips. Maybe not so significant as this, or might not feel as significant. I don't really even know that there were that many dips that I ever had, but I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait. And I hope you are too.